rescan the exam. Various reasons are there. I will not discuss this one, but just you can see college-wise we have collected the data that around 10% of the time we rescan the exam.
Or request?
Yes, based on the request. Yes, this is not exam center. They don't put that.
Excuse me, this 1140 times in 1 year?
Yes, in 1 year.
So that is 3 exams in a day?
Yes, we have what record. If you ask me, I can tell you.
On average, it
On
comes
an
to
average per week we have
on average
recorded.
it comes
On an
to-
average per semester we have recorded. On an average per teacher we have recorded.
So on
Coordinators.
average, this is
I can tell
in a
you.
year 3 exams in a day.
Evidence based.
On average, if you divide it by 365, it
Yes.
is 3 exams in a day.
Yes, yes. But sometimes during the exam session we have got more. Sometimes there is no exam. So on an average we have got every week we have a week-wise record data is also available with us. And also it is there in the exam center if you have gone to the chart there.
The course board is can.
What is the cause? There are many causes for the rescanning. One of the causes is problem in the result. One of the causes problem in the result. This is the major cause. Other minor causes are there that maybe CLO is not provided, maybe the key was not prepared and then rescan like that. But major cause was for correction. They found the problem and so because our today's topic is regarding the item analysis, that's why I brought this data that we are scanning so many exams in the exam center, that is the assessment unit, and also we are rescanning these exams without any proper paperwork. Without
No records. I have a question. Is it rescanning or reanalyzing? For example, you have scanned my
You
paper.
can say rescanning and reanalyzing one of the same thing because it is software. Either you have scanned the paper physically and then you manipulate in the next session just by changing the key, just by changing the answer
Yes.
like that. So it is one and
So
the
you
same
have
thing.
counted all of them.
Same procedure is required because it has to go through the same procedure. Only thing is escaping is the paper is not put in there in the machine.
No.
Sometimes we do that. We have to prepare. Like expert is not available, Aziz is not there, and another person is rescanning. So he will not go and change the key in the software. He will rescan because it is easier because he knows the steps. But rescanning, both the things are same. Either manipulating in the data in the software or maybe rescanning it physically. Okay. So 146 times we are rescanning in the last previous year. One more question just to revise. It's not anything we are testing you. How many reports every coordinator receives after the exam is scanned? Approximately. How many reports? Do you have any idea? 9.
I received none.
Yes.
18.
18. Do you receive 18 reports for your course?
None.
Any idea how many reports you are using in the email from Aziz? Around approximately.
7 or 8.
Yes. 7 reports we have selected. The machine can give the result in various reports. Around 25 reports are generated for one test. It may be for 5 students or maybe 1,000 students. But 25 reports are generated. We have selected after going through all the reports which is important, which is helpful for us to analyze the data or to see them. So every every coordinator is receiving 7 PDF files and 1 Excel file. Any idea, any name? You remember the name of the report?
Student grades.
Student grade, yes.
Test analysis.
IO analysis.
CLO analysis is there. Class CLO analysis is there. Okay.
We have a condensed test report.
Condensed test report is there, which is very important. Yes, very important. Yes.
And we have individual student record.
Individual student grade report, student response report. So many test reports are there. Around 7 reports are there and 1 Excel file is there. After receiving this one, the female side is the fastest one. They produce the result very quickly. I don't know. Maybe they are looking at these reports or not, but they see the Excel file first, where the grades are there to copy and paste. So just to revise these reports, let us have a look at what these reports says.
Excuse me, Majid, can
Yes.
I ask one question from the
Yes,
previous
yes, of
slide?
course.
once Aziz has scanned the report,
Yes,
now the data is there on the computer, right?
of course, yes.
How many clicks does he need to get all these reports? You know, you have a software. You just press analyze, so all the reports will be there.
Actually, you can have favorites as you will be doing in.
So what I'm saying is, it is all programmed. So
All-
after scanning, he just have to press one or two buttons. Is that
So
not
what?
like
That's
that?
not, we are not
What
discussing
is
that
your
one.
point?
No, because you showed the number of reports, so we must know how long does it take to scan one.
Yeah,
See, you scan it.
approximately
After
for
that-
one scanning, I have also sit with him. So approximately 20 to 30 minutes it takes for one exam. It's not easy to just click because it has to, like we have scanned and we have finalized 7 reports.
Mhm.
But the machine gives you around 25 reports.
Yes.
Either it can be clicked once and got it in a batch file for 25 reports. This is one click what you are saying.
Yes.
But if you are not taking all, if we click and we give 25 reports to all the coordinator, then they will be
Ignore.
ignored, or maybe what is happening with the 7 reports, it will be worse than that.
Yes.
So we have to choose one by one 7 reports.
So you choose one, that's
One
what I
by
was
one.
asking.
Because
You click one by
There
one.
is a formula to click batch file. So it will give you all the reports with one click. And that one click actually does not come on the first time. You have to go and scan and then define the regions. Many things are there. We don't go in detail of
You
that.
don't have
I don't
to-
But it will
I
take,
don't
yeah,
think we
it is
need
not
to know
required.
this.
Yeah, we are not discussing that one.
Yeah.
I'm just
We are not
familiarizing
required to
because
do it.
my talk is based on these reports. So if you have gone through these reports, you will see that there are some reports which are very, very important. There are some reports which are essential when you come across some problem. So the essential one is this one, 105. What does it says? It's a student response report which shows you all the exams, all the student responses for all questions. And this is just like a bird's eye view. And you will catch the abnormality if you know this report that it is there. You can catch this abnormality directly there. Can you comment on this report? Can you? These reports are not for doing something with the course. It is just to show you the example.
Final question.
The red are incorrect, huh?
Red are incorrect. Yes.
The final question, most of children already did answer.
Yes. And one more thing.
Question number 3. All the students answer correctly.
Okay.
You can find easy question and without questions.
And white is the blank one. White is the blank one that the student did not
Did not
answer this
answer.
question. So we have to check if he or she is complaining to us. So this type of report will give you directly. If all the are read in one line, then it will click you that there is
This
problem with
question
the
is a
question.
problem, yes.
It is a problem with this question. You may go and see the question and you may see the another reports also. Okay?
Give them a chance if they need to ask any questions.
Yes, please.
أيوة.
Bring it again. يعني مع الزملاء والزميلات.
And there is another important report which everybody should look for is this one. The one which is showing you condensed item analysis report. Most of the talk is based on this report. This is called as condensed item analysis report. What it shows, as the name suggests, it is a condensed information about the whole exam. It shows the number of questions, the correct answer, and the responses attempted by the students, whether they attempt A more, B more, C more, or D more. What is there? How many distractors are not used, non-distractor? Suppose there is 4 options. Here, D is not attempted. So basically, it becomes 3 options only. This question becomes 3 options because in future, this is for future that you may avoid these type of questions where you can see A, B, D are not used. It's a clear question where the student did not attempt
It's
for
too
A, B,
easy.
D. Too easy, yes.
Too easy.
Yes.
Too obvious.
too obvious to be ignored.
To be ignored.
Yes.
Next is total, that is the percentage of the student who made the answer correct. Key is also there, correct answer is there.
How,
and the
how
percentage
many
of-
questions in this exam, if you will tell me?
It's 24 questions.
24 questions.
Yes.
I think there is a minor problem in this question.
Okay.
One of the most common mistakes that we commit while we are writing the MCQ questions, either we start with the correct answer
And
and then attempt to write the distractors later, or we start with the distractors and keep the correct answer to D. And that's wrong. I mean, ideally, I should have, almost, not identical, 25% correct answer on all the A, B, C, and D, which is not paid attention by many of our colleagues when they are doing the exams.
Another way we follow in the college of medicine is that once we write the options, after that we do it sorting.
Well,
So it may
there
be,
is-
we don't know whether we put it A or B, it is alphabetically sorted.
no, there is another problem, especially in
None of the above.
numerical distractors.
Yes.
The problem that you would like, in my opinion, if I'm using numerical distractors, I'll use them either in ascending or descending order. But if you make it randomly, it will the correct answer may be obvious to the student.
Okay.
That's one bad.
Okay. So this report suggests total percentage, that is the how many students got this answer right, how many high achievers got the answer right, that is the upper 27%, how many low achievers has got the answer right. This is based upon the whole test.
Yes.
Let's suppose he is not performing well in the whole test and he got the answer right, he will be put here in the lower queue.
Yeah.
Then this is the point biserial. This is to show you that how the question is discriminating the master student with the low achievers. Those who master the subject well and those who are weaker in the subject. If you see this type of non-discriminating, without any discrimination, without any point biserial,
A bad
Yes.
question.
it's a bad question. Sometimes this question
This
has
is
to be there.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it is 100% because everyone attempted it correct. Sometimes we have to put this one because this is essential knowledge that everyone should get. So it is a matter of discussion that how many percentage of this should be there. But negative, because this point biserial ranges between +1 to -1. More towards +1 is the better question. If it is going towards 0, it's the discourages. And if it is going negative, you have to think about and go through the process of analyzing the question and see what is the cause. So this report is important. First report, if you are not seeing all 7 reports, at least you have to see the 2 reports. The first one which I show you, that this is a student response report, and the second one is this one, which will tell you about whole thing about the exam as well as the individual question.
So I have a couple of questions about this.
Okay.
Yes. Is this a good exam, oral or not?
Okay, the good exam, or you can say the reliability and validity, we have to check for the exam as a whole. For this one, you have to see for reliability coefficient, that is KR20. So if here in this KR20 is near towards the midway mark, that is, it is reaching up to 70%. So this is a good exam.
Well, 70%, that's a controversial issue. Okay, so this is one thing. What about the kurtosis in this exam?
Another report is there, which will tell you.
Oh, this gives
There is
us,
one more. Curve is not there, but the values are there. How many?
but from here you can get an idea of the kurtosis as well from median and mean score.
Yes,
You know, there's
median
very
range is
little
also there.
deviation,
The range of the score is maximum full marks and the minimum is 11 marks. So range is between
From
8
median
marks is
and
there.
mean actually you can get.
Here mean is also there,
So-
16.94. This is more towards the left side. Those students are getting
Now,
good marks in.
the third question is, can you know about the validity of the exam from this report?
No, by values you cannot say because which we have to see all the questions,
Very good, yes, that's the right answer. We can only judge the reliability.
Yes,
from this,
reliability
not the
is there.
validity.
So these many reports are there. I will not go in detail about the reports. Everyone is getting, so they can see this one. But I have to emphasize that at least you have to see these two reports if you want to catch the problem. So as Prof told that assessment is a bridge between the teaching and the learning. It has to be very strong so that we know that our exams are strong, so they will be showing you that it is a valid and measurable things for the students' learning. I will begin my talk now. That was just the trigger for stimulating you to be participate in the discussion. Okay.
If you the talk.
So today's is about to know the terms and terms related to the item analysis. Most of us already know. We will just revise that one and the reports, and then interpret the report result in the different result of different items. How we interpret it, and then to able to find out the steps. If you want to make corrections or if you want to interpret them. If there is a problem you find, then you find non-destructors are more, point binomial is going to the negative side, or difficulty is too high, then what are the steps we can follow? We will discuss it. It's not must that we should follow everything, but it is a point of discussion. So what is item analysis? As the name suggests, it is the analysis of the item. Item means the question in the exam. Item is nothing but the question in the exam, and we will analyze it for many things. For difficulty factor, point by serial, or as a whole for the whole exam. So it is the quality of the items we will check in the item analysis as a one single item or one question or as a whole exam. Why it is important? Everyone agrees that it is important to know all these things. Why it is important? It is important to improve the quality of our items. Our questions should be improved. Whatever we have already formed, after checking it, we can improve it later on for the future use. And to eliminate, if you find any difficulty, any problem in this one, you can eliminate them for the future exam. Or maybe in the same exam, you can normalization. If you want, you can remove some questions, give marks, or maybe eliminate this question and maybe redistribute the marks. For the teachers, yes, it is also important for the teachers because it will increase the skill, or it will construction, test construction or item construction may be improved after seeing these reports. How my questions are doing in the exam? Are they too easy? Are they too tough? Or they are not discriminating? In the future exam, I can change. Maybe I change some of the options. So like that, these are important things related to the item analysis. If you know the item analysis, then you will go for these. What are the elements of item analysis? First and foremost is the item difficulty. Second one is the item discrimination. And third one is the effectiveness of the alternatives or the distractors. Those which are not the correct answer, how they are related. If they are too far, nobody will attempt. No need to put these distractors. And the final one is the reliability coefficient as a whole. If you give the same test to many batches over a period of time, you are expecting the same result. So this can be done by seeing the reliability coefficients.
يا دكاترة لو نسمع لو تكرمتوا تفضل.
What is item difficulty? Item difficulty is nothing but the percentage of students who are answering it correctly. If suppose 10 students are there and 6 students answered that question correctly, 60% is the item difficulty. It's a simplicity. You can say it is a simplicity percentage. Another way is simplicity.
The easiness index.
Yeah, easiness index. How easy the question is. More is the percentage, easier is the question.
Isn't it more commonly called the p-value?
Yes, it is also called as p-value.
That is the most common terminology used
Yes,
for
yes.
this p-value.
Because in our reports, it is used as difficulty factor, or it is a percentage of responses actually it is.
Yeah.
But in different reports, with the different software, it comes as p-value.
Okay.
It can be ranging between 0 to 100. 0 means
Very easy.
very difficult question, nobody answer. And it can be 100% too easy.
Too easy.
So what is the normal there?
70%.
60 to 70%, I think, will be appropriate.
Yes, 60 to 70% what we consider, but it is depend upon how many distractors we are using. If 2 distractors are used as true and false, it will be around 80% or 90%. 80% should be the difficulty factor minimum. If it is 5 distractors, then it will come down to 65% like that. So it depends upon the number of distractors we are using, and it is calculated for 100 questions. If it is for less question, it will be different.
Less.
Yeah. So it has to be for 100 question. Depending upon the number of distractor, it will be calculated. We will not go in detail how it is calculated mathematically or with the computer. We are getting it directly, so we will just depend upon that one. So we will see what is the optimal difficulty, depends upon the question types and number of distractors. As an example, we can see one report. So as I showed you in the previous slide also, that difficulty is nothing but the total percentage, correct group responses, total percentage. MCQ 1 50%, MCQ 2 50%, MCQ 3 90% like that. MCQ 4 it is 100% and it is not discriminating at all. So
But I
you
think
will
we
get
give
the
it-
difficulty percentages here.
I think you mean 100 students are not 100 questions.
It is written
It's a
in the
percentage.
literature as if for a 100 question test, depending upon the number of distractor, you calculate, there is a formula to give the optimal difficulty.
Okay.
Dr. Mujib, can I just interject something? We still face some of our colleagues who write all of the above and none of the above
Yes.
as distractors. I think originally this was when computers were unable to do a lot of analysis, and it will be very tough for the computers to deal with multiple distractors. So I think everybody agrees that there is no place for all of the above and none of the above.
Highly discouraged. Highly discouraged.
Yes.
None of the above and all of the above are highly discouraged.
Yes.
Unless it is in some cases, like in
Very
clinical
rare,
cases,
very rare.
there are something which the doctor or the student should not do.
Yes.
This is a grave mistake. So
Yes.
that time you can put that distract. So it is very rare, but it is highly discouraged. So in this, you can get the difficulty factor here. Optimal difficulty, as we said, it is around 60 to 70%. So for true and false, for 100 question items, for two distractors, it is 75% difficulty index, 67 for 3, 63 for 4, and this is optimal. It will be ranging between plus or minus 5, you can say. And if it is 5, like A, B, C, D, and E, then it can be up to 60% is the optimal
Oh,
difficulty.
this is the one you mean?
Yes.
You calculated for 100 questions.
Of course.
Can
I
I just, I believe that, is this true and false? Because in true and false we have only one distractor.
Yeah.
It
We
is
don't
just
have
like a true and false.
Okay.
Just
That's
like
fine,
a true and false.
But
Two
from a
distractors are there.
distractor point of view,
Yes.
we have only one distractor.
One distractor, yes.
Yes.
But the student has to choose from 2. He don't
Yeah.
know which one is true and which is false. So it becomes 2 then.
Yes, it's customary.
Second one is the most important one is the item discrimination. Although you have very good question, but it is not discriminating. Everyone is getting right. Then this discrimination is disturbed. So number of high achievers answer the item correctly will have high discrimination. Our distractor should be like that. Our question should be like that. Only the high achievers. The test is meant for separating the good students from the bad, or those who are grading them, who are in A plus, who are in D. So if the questions are not satisfying that criteria, these questions are of no use. So it has to have a good discrimination, and it is ranging between 1 to plus 1 to minus 1. More towards plus 1, it is a very good distractor. If it is minus 1, it is a bad distractor, and you have to go and see. Sometimes minus or negative discrimination shows that the answer key was wrong, and it allows guessing, and it is found that in research that those who are low achievers can guess right answer correctly. most of the time. So if the low achievers are answering, that is the point by serial becomes negative, you have to go and check the question for the key. The most important thing is the key may be wrong. Let us see the example again in similar sheets you will find. Question number 1 and 2. No discrimination. Does not calculate because all of them are answered by all the students.
Yes.
All the questions are answered by, the answer was D and it is attempted 100%, so there is no discrimination. If you see the question number 3, it is negative discrimination, minus 1.14.
And then also
No achieve-
the D also this.
Yeah, 3 option correct answers are
Yes.
D in a sequence.
Yes.
This is a good example. It's for 0.82% reliability.
Yes.
It's a bell-shaped distribution.
Yes,
Mean
of
and
course.
the median are the
Reliability
same.
KR20 is becoming
Yeah.
around 1.
And it's a bell-shaped
It's a
because the
bell-shaped.
mean and the median are the same.
Yes, mean and median are the
It's a
same.
bell-shaped distribution.
Yes, good observation. So here these reports are for you to see where you will find the problem. Before going to the exam center or seeing the paper, you can simply see all these things on your computer before declaring or before copying and pasting the Excel sheet. Because if you find some difficulty, you are going to rescan it and you will get a new Excel sheet. So that time it will be of no use. Whatever you have done, it will be of no use. So it is better to see these reports first, and then if everything is okay, and our machine is giving in color coded also.
Yes.
If you find it is red, you can pick up. Even if you are not reading, if you are not going through, there is a color coding that if it is red, always go and check it, is there any problem or not. So point by serial is, if it is 0.4 or more, it is very good discrimination. If 0.3 to 0.39, reasonably good discrimination. 0.2 to 0.29 is marginal or acceptable discrimination. Less than 0.23, less than 0.2 is poor discrimination. You have to either eliminate, modify the questions or like that. So negative point by serial, if you see negative values, it shows that it is highly discouraging. It should not be there. But if it is there, indicates that low achievers answered the question.